but there's just something missing. It feels awkward. You can also see he's nervous. I mean, it's a good question. And she didn't ask the elephant in the room, but she kind of did, right? About Blake Lively. And that's kind of the point, is in full effect, appearing in both The Hollywood Reporter as he swerves these questions about the negative headlines.
Hollywood has always had a soft spot for fairy tales, the kind where two stars fall in love, build an empire together, and live happily ever after under the flash of paparazzi cameras. But what happens when the picture-perfect story starts to show cracks? That's the question on everyone's minds after Ryan Reynolds' recent appearance at the Time 100 Creative Summit. As expected, Ryan delivered his signature charm, cracking jokes and dropping wisdom that left the audience laughing and applauding. Yet, amid all the charisma and brilliance, there was one glaring omission that didn't go unnoticed: Blake Lively. Not a single mention, not even a casual nod to the woman who's been by his side through thick and thin. Was this simply an innocent oversight, or could it be something more calculated, a subtle signal of tension behind the scenes? Fans are already dissecting every word, every pause, and every smirk, trying to piece together the truth behind Hollywood's so-called perfect couple.
Are saying about you. So how has that media attention impacted your brand, your businesses?
Well, I mean, it's a good question.
You know, no, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online. You know.
I mean, that's true, but of course he has to position himself right away as the victim.
You know, honestly, I give a lot of talks to students about storytelling and about, you know, how you can do it in different buckets. You can do it in unexpected ways. My company's North Star is bringing people together in smart, fun, and unexpected ways. And that also helped with a lot of things too. So those are two like weird tools that I didn't expect to advance things in other areas. I didn't become my career was an aggregate. It was pretty slow. So I didn't have that like overnight success. You know, it was the risk of dying from fame is much, much lower when you get older. You know, so sometimes the last one I did, I mentioned that the greatest superpower I ever had in my life, I'm not talking about just my career or anything, was knowing who I am.
The guy who clicked when he read the negative and the positive article about himself. So which was it? You're not either of those, okay? Well, how did you know who you are?
Our role is to be the humanities guide to trusted journalism, and so
Miller, others, and it seems like Ryan came around and apologized to them. Ryan and Tim apparently are better now, but man, this is tough to watch.
It's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online.
Fails to mention Blake at the summit as he swerves these questions about the negative headlines Blake and Ryan are refusing to accept. Just take some accountability, dude. You've dug yourself in such a hole and revealing the forced emails you wanted to do. I mean, we know. I don't have to tell all you guys, but the things he forced and yelled at Justin to do, it's sad, man.
You know, Ryan Reynolds was on the summit yesterday being interviewed, not Blake, even though she was being, you know, actually the one on the Time 100. She couldn't handle the interview, but Ryan was.
But still, you'd think he'd be a big enough star that he'd have a fan base that would be out there defending him and going, but I
Self as the face of your many businesses, which obviously has a huge upside. You can feature Deadpool in these commercials. People know who you are. The downside is you cannot always control what the internet is saying about you.
Last one I did, I mentioned that the greatest superpower I ever had in my life, I'm not talking about just my career or anything, was knowing who I am.
Interviewed on stage and he talked about, and he got some good questions, but of course he didn't answer the question.
Try to ignore all the other stuff. I still want to see Deadpool, but you, man, yeah, disappointed. Odd, it feels forced where he's out there being presented as, oh yeah, we got to put you out there. We got to be the man of the people. Everyone loves Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, but there's just something missing. If Blake Lively on the list, did Leslie Sloan say, and we'll give you Ryan for your creative summit live in person, because Blake can't do a live in-person interview like this at this point. I think she's still probably not ready for it.
Ryan Reynolds took center stage at the Time 100 Creative Summit, basking in praise for his creativity and success. But amid all the laughter and applause, eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange. Not once did Ryan mention Blake, not even a casual shout-out to his wife. Instead, he positioned himself as the lone genius behind their shared ventures, casually dismissing Blake's contributions with a smirk. To make matters worse, body language experts dissected every microexpression, pointing out subtle cues that hinted at tension. Was this a premeditated move, or just bad timing? The summit was supposed to be a celebration of big thinkers and Hollywood stars, a place where brilliance shines brightest. Yet, as Ryan swerved around questions about negative headlines and focused solely on his own narrative, people couldn't help but notice the glaring omission. When asked how media attention had impacted his brand and businesses, Ryan quipped something along the lines of, "Well, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online." It was classic Ryan humor, laced with sarcasm, but there was an undercurrent of deflection. He didn't just avoid mentioning Blake. He actively painted himself as the sole creative force in their household. Body language analysts on TikTok zoomed in on his microexpressions during the interview. The way he paused after name-dropping their joint ventures, the slight tilt of his head when discussing his struggles, it all seemed calculated. Some even speculated that his nervous energy betrayed a deeper discomfort. Was he intentionally sidelining Blake, or was this simply an awkward oversight? Fans were quick to pick up on these nuances, sparking debates online about whether this was a deliberate snub or merely an unfortunate misstep. Whatever the case, one thing was clear: Ryan's performance left more questions than answers, and Blake's conspicuous absence from the narrative only added fuel to the fire.
Being a storyteller, he said, "I have so many multiple personalities. I'm a storyteller." But Blake was given a mic today. She was given a mic at the event tonight and used this moment. And this is the most frustrating thing of all.
Humiliating Justin Baldoni as soon as he could, as many times as he could, and using as many A-list actors as he could.
For the property in South Salem. Of course it's Salem. Isn't that where witches go?
Feels awkward. You can also see is he going to get asked a question? At some of these softball places like Time, they clearly aren't. And the question is like, why is he even there at the Time Summit? Was this part of the deal?
Very aggressive, I agree, and I can't fault somebody for wanting to stick up for their partner, but there were parts of it as I was reading it, I couldn't help but feel like it was a bit petty.
Attention affect your businesses, because if you scroll through the comments of this video, whoo, Team Justin all the way.
MZ, let's look at what he said. Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case despite his publicly documented involvement, extending far beyond just being a supportive spouse.
Chloe's Good American Fashion brand has about 30% fake followers on Instagram. The reality show what it really looks like, what Khloe Kardashian really looks like, and this is the final version. It looks like a complete different person.
Baldoni's team filed an amended complaint in their lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the New York Times, and in it,
People together in smart, fun, and unexpected ways.
Absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable.
Justin talking about his teenage years and his growth and maturity, and to try to use against him to label him a predator, which none of the quotes did. I actually applaud them for, even though they're not supposed to do it, for making the point to be like, nice try, Reynolds. You have your own quotes.
Nonsensical, like, fire the whole PR team. It's dumb.
We disagree. Here's why. But worst case scenario, if we lose, we are allowed legally to go make an amendment, and we should at least be doing that.
Been and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in courts.
In your 20s, you're trying, I mean, at least I was, you're trying on personalities like they're shirts. I mean, you're literally just, I'll be this person, I'll be that person, and one day you've stolen from 1,000, so you're a genius, not a thief.
In true Hollywood fashion, Blake responded with silence, a tactic that often speaks louder than words ever could. Within mere hours of Ryan's interview going viral, she completely disappeared from social media. No witty captions, no nostalgic red carpet throwbacks, not even a simple emoji to acknowledge the growing buzz around her name. It was as if she had pressed pause on her usually active online presence, leaving fans scrambling for answers. Almost instantly, speculation began to swirl. Hardcore supporters started digging through her past posts, searching for any hint of what might be going on behind the scenes. Some eagle-eyed followers claimed they noticed Blake quietly unliking older photos of the couple, those picture-perfect moments that once screamed #couplegoals. Others theorized that this sudden radio silence wasn't just coincidence, but rather part of an intentional damage control strategy crafted by her PR team. After all, in an industry where perception is everything, sometimes doing nothing can be the most powerful move. Whatever the reason behind her vanishing act, one thing became crystal clear. Blake wasn't simply reacting emotionally or playing games. She was strategizing. Every calculated decision, every deliberate absence, seemed designed to send a message without saying a word. Whether it was meant to protect herself, call attention to Ryan's comments, or set the stage for her next big move, only time would tell. But one thing was certain. This silence wasn't empty. It was loaded with purpose. Let's face it, Blake and Ryan aren't just spouses. They're a full-fledged brand. From their early days of red carpet appearances to their now iconic joint ventures like Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile, their partnership has been sold to the public as the ultimate power couple dynamic. He brings the quick-witted humor that makes everyone feel like they're in on the joke. She brings the timeless glamour that turns heads at every event. Together, they've built an empire that feels almost too perfect, like something out of a Hollywood script. But here's the thing. Is their love story legit, or is it all part of a meticulously crafted Hollywood contract? Critics have long speculated that their flawless image might be masking deeper issues, especially in light of Ryan's recent comments during the Time 100 Creative Summit. Was his omission of Blake a simple oversight, or could this be the first visible crack in their carefully curated facade? After all, in an industry where image is everything, even the smallest misstep can unravel years of PR perfection. And with fans dissecting their every move, one has to wonder, are they seeing the real Blake and Ryan, or just the version they want us to believe in? If there's one area where Blake truly shines, it's her ability to master the Instagram algorithm like a seasoned pro. Every time controversy bubbles up, whether it's a cryptic post, a sudden silence, or even an offhand comment from Ryan, her follower count seems to skyrocket almost overnight. Is this just a random coincidence? Highly unlikely. Much like the Kardashians, who have turned social media manipulation into an art form, Blake appears to have a deep understanding of how to leverage drama for maximum impact. She knows exactly when to post those cozy family photos that make her look relatable and human, while also dropping vague, thought-provoking captions designed to spark curiosity and debate among her followers. These moves aren't just random, they're calculated. Her timing is impeccable, often releasing content at moments when public interest in her life is already peaking. And let's not overlook her recent vanishing act after Ryan's controversial interview. It wasn't sloppy or accidental. If anything, it felt deliberate, as if she was intentionally stepping back to let speculation run wild and keep engagement through the roof. By disappearing from the spotlight, she created a vacuum that fans and media outlets rushed to fill with theories, memes, and endless discussions. Whether it's orchestrating her posts to align perfectly with trending topics or using strategic silences to amplify intrigue, Blake has proven time and again that she knows how to play the game and win. It's no wonder her follower count keeps climbing, because in today's digital age, attention is currency and Blake Lively is printing money. Blake isn't just a pretty face, she's also a master storyteller, and her Instagram captions are a perfect example of this. Whether she's posting cozy family moments or glamorous red carpet shots, her words often walk the line between heartfelt and cryptic. Sometimes, it feels like she's sharing an intimate piece of her soul. Other times, it seems like she's planting seeds for her next PR move. After Ryan's comments at the Time 100 Creative Summit, many fans expected her to fire back with one of her signature witty responses, or at least some subtle shade. But instead, she went completely silent. No clever captions, no adorable family photos, not even a hint of acknowledgement. Was this silence a calculated strategy to gain sympathy and shift public opinion in her favor? Or is she genuinely hurt and simply tired of living under the shadow of Mr. Perfect, who always seems to steal the spotlight? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing is certain. Blake Lively knows how to play the game of Hollywood image control better than most, and whether through silence or strategic posts, she's undoubtedly winning. Her ability to manipulate narratives without saying much at all proves that she's not just a passive player in their shared empire. She's every bit as savvy and intentional as Ryan, if not more so. Here's the million-dollar question. Is any of this real? Or is it all part of a carefully orchestrated plan to promote their next big project? Think about it. What better way to generate buzz than by dropping subtle hints of marital trouble, sparking debates across social media, and keeping fans glued to their screens? Whether it's teasing a Netflix documentary where they bear it all, or teasing a new business venture that could redefine their brand, Blake and Ryan are no strangers to leveraging controversy for profit. They've mastered the art of turning whispers into headlines, and if this entire drama is just another calculated move, then it wouldn't be their first rodeo. At this point, it's nearly impossible to tell where reality ends and the PR spin begins. Are we witnessing genuine tension behind closed doors? Or are we simply pawns in an elaborate game of Hollywood chess designed to keep their names trending? Either way, one thing is clear. Blake and Ryan know how to keep the world watching and talking. So, are Blake and Ryan truly the victims of Hollywood's unyielding pressure? Or could it be that they're masterfully orchestrating this entire narrative as part of a carefully calculated plan? One thing is undeniable. Their relationship defies the ordinary in every sense. Whether it's the way they present themselves to the world or how they handle controversies, there's an undeniable air of intrigue surrounding them. Fans can't help but wonder, what's real and what's manufactured for public consumption? Is their love story built on genuine connection and mutual respect, or is it just another meticulously crafted chapter in the glossy, often deceptive book of Hollywood illusions? Could it be that they've cracked the code to navigating fame, using both their strengths and challenges to maintain their status as one of the most talked about couples in the industry? On the other hand, perhaps the pressures of maintaining such larger-than-life personas have taken a toll, leaving cracks that only careful PR management can paper over. Either way, their dynamic raises important questions about authenticity in the age of social media and celebrity culture. What do you think? Are Blake and Ryan living out a modern fairy tale, or is their so-called perfect relationship nothing more than smoke and mirrors designed to keep us all watching? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear where you stand on this endlessly fascinating debate.